Starting up a new arc of the Trail series is kind of like revisiting an old friend, and it always fills you with a whole bunch of anticipation. Wondering what the new country is going to be like, or what kind of person the main character is going to be, or what kind of oddballs are going to join up with them. And more importantly, what old friends will be rearing their little faces too. Hi there everybody, I'm David, and if you are new to the channel, please be sure that you subscribe for more top 10s, news, and reviews, and you smash that like button to show your love. And now, let me tell you all about my spoiler-free experience with the Legend of Heroes Trails Through Daybreak demo. This here is the fourth main arc of the series that began long ago with the Trails in the Sky trilogy, to be followed up by the Crossbow duology, and then the Cold Steel saga. And now here, we're introduced to the eastern half of the Empire, Calvard. We did get a taste of Calvard back in Zero and Azure, and there it was really introduced as like a much more oriental themed country. So that is what I came in here expecting. But I was really rather shocked to find out that Calvard is actually based upon France, of all things. So that was kind of like a really big wake-up call to me. Everything that I thought that I knew about Calvard was just kind of like thrown at the window. So I was really able to take in the country for how it was presented to me, rather than for what my preconceived notions about it were. Even though this is the 12th entry into this long-running series, because it is the start of a new arc, this here is actually a fantastic, great entry point for anybody wanting to get into the series. Yeah, you will miss a couple of Easter eggs here and there, as well as cameos and characters, but the game does a great job in giving you all the pertinent background information on the characters that you need for this game. And if you really want to dive deep into the previous titles, the title screen includes background information on the various characters, a synopsis of all the games in the entire series, a glossary of terms that are used, as well as a timeline. There's all sorts of good things there to help out new players get acclimated into the series. Now, keep this in mind, the Switch version only allows you to play the prologue, but the PS4 and PS5 versions of the demo allows you to play the prologue and Chapter 1. So if you're able to, definitely play this over on the Sony systems. There's also 5 different difficulty levels here, ranging all the way from very easy up to nightmare. And ingeniously, it also allows you to pick from 3 different font sizes, so I of course chose the largest. This entry takes place in and around the capital city of Edith. Van, your main protagonist, has his office there, and he's a Spriggan. I think that they actually are running out of real names, so there's coming up fake names now. You can't be a bracer or a cop or a student again, so they made him a Spriggan, whatever that is. Essentially, he's somebody who handles odd jobs, but they're not on the most up and up. He's not exactly working for the underworld or anything, but some of his jobs are just a little bit questionable and maybe borderline illegal. His main job, though, is to help out Agnes. Not Agnes, but Agnes. Like I said, Calvard est en français. Agnes wants your help tracking down the 8 scattered Genesis, and as you grab one in the prologue and then another one over in Chapter 1, I pretty much just assume that each chapter has its own Genesis that you have to find. But of course, it can never just be that easy, because the Ouroboros enforcers are also after them, as well as a bloodthirsty mafia. Now, I don't want to go too much further into the story for, spoiler purposes, so just know that more people will join up with Van, and eventually you'll hop into your car, leave the capital, and go on all sorts of trips to different towns and places throughout the Republic. You're not just stuck in one city forever. The battle system is familiar, yet different. You can choose to fight in turn-based combat or in action combat, and it pretty much boils down to using action on the trash mobs and turn-based on the harder mobs and the bosses. While in turn-based mode, you'll see the turn order gauge at the top of the screen, along with any sort of bonuses that you'll get on that turn, such as recovering HP or EP, or getting a guaranteed critical hit. Then, whenever your turn comes up, you're able to move around freely and attack the enemies in proximity with normal attacks, or use your crafts, or cast a spell. Positioning is absolutely key here, as each spell has its own range as well as each craft, but at the same time, you're going to want to position your characters close to one another so that they can be linked. This allows you to get bonus follow-up attacks or even defend your linked partner. Your positioning in regards to the enemies also matters too, because many of your attacks and crafts will deal bonus damage if you attack the enemy from the back or the side. Again, Another Trails game? A whole other orbment system. It seems to me like the only spells that you actually get are tied to your master quartz here though. Then, from there, you can equip individual spells as you see fit, but not a whole lot. Instead, the upgrade system seems much more aligned with the stat upgrades instead of the spells. But the stat boosts don't just upgrade your strength or defense though. They can also unlock other special skills called shards that have a chance of doing little extra bonus things for you, like showing all the treasures on your minimap or adding various elements to your basic attacks. The battles are absolutely seamless. Whether you fight them in action mode or turn-based mode, it really doesn't matter, because you will immediately go back to the field exploration scene with no loading times whatsoever. I mean, like, a result screen won't even show up unless it's a boss fight. It just makes the encounters completely seamless. It is wonderful. In addition to the main story, you'll of course encounter sub-stories and side quests. And while these will increase your grade at the end of the chapter, more importantly, how you decide to complete these quests or the answers that you give during the side quests will also influence your alignment, whether you're more aligned to lawfulness or chaos or neutral, which is a really nice addition to the game, and it actually does make your choices matter. And I've just got to say this, Van is 24 years old, so he might as well be like in a nursing home as far as these games go, but it's so refreshing to actually play as an adult. It reminds me of playing games back on the NES and SNES when you were an adult and you went out into the world and nobody bothered you. You're not under anybody else's thumb. You don't have to worry about your teacher or your homework or anything stupid like that. You're able to jump into your car whenever you want to and drive off to your next destination. It really feels like the Trails series is growing up along with its audience. It does not shy away from showing blood or death or cursing. This is definitely one of the more adult entries into the series, and I've just got to say, it's about time. I mean, the series has been going strong since 2006, so even if you played the first Trails in the Sky game whenever you were, say, 10 or so years old, you would be 28 years old now, so yeah, it's definitely time for this series to grow up with its fans. And there's really just one more thing that I've got to say. I just saw it and I have to bring it up. And that's to give a big congratulations to Falcom for having their first openly gay character in Vermati. And, well, yeah, he does seem to be like a walking stereotype. He reminds me a lot of that bartender in Ys 9. At least it's progress here. He's queer and he's a good person. He's not a predator like some of the other lesbians that we saw earlier in the franchise. Hi, Angelica. Hi, Shirley. Bye, hope to never see you again. All told, I had a fantastic time with this demo, and it took me roughly 9 or so hours to get through the prologue as well as the first chapter. It is just packed full of content, great characters, cameos, and Easter eggs right from the get-go. And well, yeah, you will see some old friends from other games. This is still a fantastic starting point for anybody wanting to get into the series. So now, I have to ask you, how did you feel about the game? Let me know in the comments, and let's get a discussion going on here, and let's all talk and chat about it. And if you like what I do here on the channel, please head on over to the Patreon to sign up for early access to my videos, as well as behind-the-scenes photographs. The link to it is over in the video description. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe, and have a good day.